reaching out to the decision. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Aloysius, and on behalf of IMAPAC, I would like to welcome you for today's webinar, which is focusing on the building qualified biopharma leads in Asia Pacific regions. And this sessions is also designed specifically for service providers, solutions providers, CROs, CDMOs, consultants, and technology companies who are looking to strengthen their commercial engagements and generate more qualified opportunities across Asia Pacific regions. So before we begin, let me briefly introduce about IMAPAC. So for over 15 years, IMAPAC has been connecting the Asia Pacific life science industry through conferences, executive networking, market research, webinars, customized events, and lead generations program. And for today, we work with a network of more than 60,000 biopharma professionals across Asia Pacific regions, including stakeholders from biopharma companies, big pharma, CRO CDMOs, research institutes, academic organizations, and healthcare providers. And over the years, we have seen firsthand of how buying behavior have evolved and how decision-making processes has become more complex, and what separates companies that consistently generate opportunities from those that struggles to gain traction in the market. And for today's sessions is based on those observations combined with the feedbacks from the thousands of industry professionals that we have engaged through our conferences, research projects, and also networking events as well as our webinars. And for today, we will explore of how and why APAC continues to be such an attractive market, and why traditional lead generations methods are becoming less effective, and also how buying behavior have changes over the years, what successful companies are doing differently right now. And we have my colleague Roshini Singh that she will be sharing two real world examples of how organizations engage decision makers and generate opportunities. And finally, we will share some of the practical takeaways that you can apply in your own commercial strategy. So let's start with the opportunity itself. So APAC remains one of the faster growing regions right now, and Asia continues to be one of the most dynamic regions in the global life science industry. And we are seeing strong growth across the biologics, cell and gene therapy, RNA therapeutics, ADC, vaccines, and also clinical development. And you can see governments across the regions continue investing heavily in the healthcare innovations and biopharmaceutical capabilities. And many countries are actively building domestic capabilities and attracting foreign investments. Singapore, China, South Korea, Japan, India, and emerging Southeast Asia countries are also seeing substantial investment into the life science infrastructure. And also growing demands for partnerships. At the same time, we are seeing growing demands for outsourcing, strategic partnership, technology adoptions, and digital transformations. So this creates enormous opportunities for solutions providers. So, however, there is one major challenge that we find out, which is the opportunity is growing, but accessing to the right stakeholders is becoming more and more difficult. Many organizations they don't struggle because there is lack of opportunity, but they struggle because they can't consistently engage with the right decision makers. So why traditional lead generations no longer works? There is where many commercial and also marketing team they start feeling frustrations. So the first one, generate email campaigns. So most buyers they receive hundreds or more than thousands of email every week. So breaking through this noise is becoming more and more difficult. And the second one, difficulty reaching out to the decision makers. So buying decisions are rarely made by one person anymore. So you may need the buy-in from such as the R&D departments, process development departments, procurement, quality, or even manufacturing departments. So simplifying, identifying who influence the decisions can be more challenging right now. The third one, large exhibition booth. So event remains valuable. However, visibility doesn't automatically translate into a meaningful conversations. Followed by webinar quality. So many webinars they attract registrations, but the challenge is to how to ensure those registrations are actually relevant to your business objective. And the last one, I know the long sales cycles. So long sales cycle continue to be longer and longer. Many companies struggle to clearly connecting the marketing activities with the commercial outcomes. And this is probably familiar to many people. You can start with 1,000 contacts and which becomes 100 leads and then which becomes 10 opportunities only. And the last one is only one customer. So the problem is not the activities, but the problem is the relevance. And this is probably the most important slides for today's presentations. So what influenced the engagements? And what surprised many people wasn't what ranked highly, which is it was what ranked low, the marketing and also advertising activities. So you can see the highest ranking for all these factors that influence the engagement. 82% of the respondents are saying scientific and technical expertise, and followed by the peer recommendations, 76%. And the third one is the thought leadership and industry insights, and followed by the industry experience. And the last one, marketing and advertising activities, which is only ranked at just 24%. So that doesn't mean the marketing is not important. It means marketing alone is not enough. So how buyers they want to engage? So we also asking the decision makings of how they prefer to engage with the vendors or with the solution providers. The result became even more interesting. So you can see the first one. 82% of the respondent mentions peer discussions or the industry roundtable discussions, and followed by the industry conference and also the networking events. And the third one, thought leadership content and also the case studies. And the rest of the respondent mentions webinars, direct sales outreach, and the last one is the marketing emails, which is the EDMs. So what this graph tell us is the buyer they don't want more sales message anymore. They want expertise, they want trust, relevance, and also meaningful conversations. So the company did understand that there are more winning opportunities in the future if they engage with the decision makers with the industry roundtable discussions or peer-to-peer discussions. So moving on, so what top performing service providers are doing differently right now? And this slide summarize what we can do or what we can consistently to see among the successful providers. So the first one, account-based marketing. They focus on specific target accounts rather than broad outreach. And the second one, thought leadership. They educate the market. Followed by the executive networkings. They create opportunities for meaningful discussions. Community building. They stay visible between campaigns. Followed by closed door discussions. They create environments where the decision makers or the key senior level people can openly share their challenges. And the last one, long-term relationship or nurturing. They recognize that the trust that takes time. Okay, so conclusions, the best performing organizations are not simply just collecting the leads, but they are building relationship. So now I would like to introduce my colleague Roshini Singh. So she will go through with us on the case study that she has worked with our clients before. So Rosh, hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Aloysius, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Roshni, and I'm here to actually share on two case studies today. One being the first case study that I'll be speaking to you guys about will be on a global digital transformation solutions provider that we engaged us to conduct a roundtable discussion. So the main issue that this client was actually facing was they were new to the pharma space and they actually wanted to penetrate APAC market. They didn't know how to get there at the shortest period of time, the shortest way possible. So they actually came to IMAPAC because they know IMAPAC is an expert in organizing pharma-related events for the past 16 years. And hence why they actually hired our services because they actually wanted to reach C-level and senior decision makers from big pharmas located in the APAC region. So their main objective was basically to connect with these key decision makers and generate qualified business opportunities for themselves, leads for their sales team, and etc. How AMAPAC actually advised them to do that was obviously organizing the executive roundtable discussion. It was hosted in a dinner format, and we actually extended out personal invitations to all the key decision makers that they were targeting in the region. We got 15 of them to attend the roundtable discussion. And then basically during the roundtable discussion, the client showcased their solution and as well as shared some of the pain points the industry was facing and also tried and got feedbacks from these key decision makers to actually share what was the pain points that you were facing, what was the challenges the industry was facing, and I think it was a very holistic and robust session for everyone because not only did the client actually get to meet 15 targeted decision makers under one roof at one point of time, but they also managed to share and understand in a deeper level what challenges these big farmers were facing, what key challenges were these decision makers facing, and how the client can actually position their product, position themselves to address those challenges for these decision makers. Again, the outcome was we got 15 qualified decision makers to engage. To join us for the roundtable discussion. We got 3 deals closed by our client during this roundtable discussion, which is, I think, amazing. And then we also, from there on, the sales team managed to get into contact with the other 12 sales decision makers that was there and continue the conversation with them to see how they can work with them in the future, work with these clients in the future. And the best thing was out of the 15 decision makers from these big pharmas in APAC that said they will come for a roundtable, they all turned up and it was an amazing session. Next case study we'd like to share is how a global life science solution provider actually engaged us to provide and conduct for them one-to-one meetings, curated one-to-one meetings with the personas that you're targeting, because they have been a very limited time in Singapore and they had a lot of difficulties and challenge securing meetings, getting their sales team to meet the right decision makers in the region, especially they were targeting the Singapore market, because as we know, a lot of the HQs for the biopharmas are located in Singapore itself. So I think that the sales team was having challenge crossing that door, crossing that bridge of meeting these key decision makers, and that's why they hired us to actually conduct one-to-one meeting sessions. And also, most importantly, because our client CEO was actually visiting, and he actually wanted, while he was here, to have meaningful one-to-one meeting with decision makers in the big pharma space in the APAC region during his visit. So how IMAPAC helped was we actually provided a customized executive engagement program. We sat together with the client to identify whom are the people they are targeting, what job titles they are targeting, companies they are targeting, and then we help to arrange one-to-one meetings and networking sessions with the client and the stakeholders that they were targeting. And lastly, we managed to provide one-to-one meetings. All the one-to-one meetings that they signed up for, the client were all completed during the CEO's visit. So what the CEO actually wanted to do was to get these clients down to their office here in Singapore. So we had 15 senior decision makers attend, where during that time, the CEO managed to meet all of them one-to-one on a personal level, and actually, speak more, share more on their products and solutions to this client. And then, get their business cards and everything. We again achieve 100% attendance rate for this CEO session, this one-to-one meeting session. And not only did the key stakeholders that were shortlisted by this client, not only did they attend, but they also got their team to come together with them. So overall, this was a very robust and a very, a great sharing session between the client and the key decision makers they were targeting, because not only the decision makers were there, even the influencers, the people that, help to make decisions or influence decisions in the organizations were all there as well. And then obviously this helped to generate new business and new partnership opportunities for our client. And lastly, also accelerate relationship building in the industry for whoever was there during the client meeting, with the key stakeholders that the client was targeting. So I think overall that was an amazing session. They got really good context out of these CEO meetings, CEO discussion, and not only the decision makers were there, the influencers were also there. So it created a more like a learning session of what our client can offer and do for them. And yeah, that was really helpful for the client. And out of all the IMAPAC services that we provide, some of the key takeaways we would like to mention is that APAC continues to remain a very high growth biopharma market. For us, we believe that the quality of the engagement matters more than the quantity of leads. So we help clients by through our lead generation services to meet the right target audience. Obviously, the conferences are always there, to support, to educate the industry, to showcase new product and solutions which our clients are launching. But we also understand the importance of meeting key decision people that will help to take on your products and solutions in their organizations as being a very important avenue to also generate leads. Hence why I believe quality of engagement matters more than quantity of leads. And we also have realized over the years of doing events, doing lead generation, decision makers tend to also like the personal touch, where they prefer a more focused, a more trusted interaction. This builds credibility when you do provide when you do one-to-one meetings, you do organize roundtable discussion, you are seen as more credible, as someone who's really serious, and you really want to build relationships. And I think that's when decision makers actually appreciate that touch, and that's how things convert into relationship building, and then it converts into sales, and thereafter for our clients as well. So, and some of the ways we do it via what I mentioned earlier, executive roundtables, one-to-one meetings, actually generate stronger opportunities than just participating in conferences alone, because it helps you meet target decision makers who are going to be people who take on your product and solutions. And the most successful providers build relationships more than before they start selling. So these lead generation services that IMAPAC provides actually opens up different avenues, different ways how a client can also like build relationship, build their product and solutions in the industry, build that trust, and build that opportunity with clients to actually get to know more about their products and solutions. And this obviously and eventually will all turn and convert into sales. So with that, these are some of the lead generation services we provide to our clients. We not only do we do end-to-end webinars, we also provide customized event services. Like I mentioned about the roundtable earlier in our first case study, where the client actually did a on-site roundtable discussion with the 15 senior stakeholders from the big pharma space in APAC region. So we can actually also help you to organize virtual events via webinars. Or we can also do on-site events for you, customized events for you at any of the countries you like in APAC, Singapore, Korea, Malaysia, even up to like India. Those are our main strong countries that we actually help to, and we have actually done events in before, Indonesia included, So this is something that you can actually consider if you're really looking to make and mark a good working relationship, partnership with senior decision makers in those regions and in those countries. We also provide the one-to-one meetings as I shared in my second case study earlier. We go by bundles of 5 meetings, 10 meetings, 20 meetings, and 30 meetings. These meetings can be done virtually, either through Zoom or Microsoft Teams, with the target clients that you are targeting, the personas you are targeting. Or you can also choose to host these meetings at any of our events that we have in any of the countries. So this is really the flexibility we provide our clients, and it's up to you on how you want to go about conducting these one-to-one meetings. Obviously, for us, we feel a face-to-face interaction is always better than virtual meetings, but obviously all these things can be discussed at a later part as to how you want to conduct these one-to-one meetings and etc. We also provide white papers. If you know you have a white paper that you would like to establish, or ebooks that you like to establish on our website, we can also provide and do that for you. This will also in turn provide lead generation opportunity for you. If anyone downloads your ebook or downloads your white paper, you're actually able to get those leads to yourself. And then we also have on-demand webinar posting. For example, you have a webinar that's already been recorded before that you really like to, showcase again or share on another platform again. You can actually post it on IMAPAC's website. And lastly, we also provide voice of customer survey. This is especially for clients who are not only looking to lead generate or looking to, create brand awareness or to be seen as a thought leader. Perhaps there's a new product you're launching, or there's a new market that you're looking to penetrate into. You want to see what your competitors are doing. This will be a perfect way to actually understand the sentiments, the market sentiments of your product, of your competitors, of the, how is your solution and product going to work in this market, in this new market they're venturing into. So this voice of customer survey is a personal one-to-one survey that we will provide for our clients, where we will actually help to reach out to the target clients that they're targeting to get to know and conduct this survey and get to know their questions, their sentiments, their answers to the questions that our clients will provide, and etc. So with that, today we have only 1 hour of webinar time. We have tried our best to actually mention everything that we can during this 1 hour call, but I know that can be difficult to actually share more case studies and get into more nitty-gritty of what are your demands and what are your needs and how IMAPAC can help. So, if you have any Q&A, any questions that you would like us to answer today, you can share that on this chat right now, and me and Aloysius are happy to address them directly. Or you can actually choose to actually, when I do reach out to share more regarding our lead gen services after our the webinar ends, we can then again schedule a call to share more in greater details, and then as well as understand your sentiments, your issues, and your challenges, and how IMAPAC can help you. So with that, thank you very much. Me and Aloysius like to thank you for your time, and the floor is all yours. If there's any questions that you guys like to share, please feel free to do that. Thank you. Okay, so I think we have our first set of questions. Which APAC markets are currently seeing the most activity? Aloysius, perhaps you may want to help me answer that question.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a very good question. Okay, so the question is which APAC markets are currently seeing the most activities right now? So from the webinar and also the event that we run in IMAPAC, I would say the most active markets right now are typically from China, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, India, and Australia. So you can see whenever we do our conference or webinars, the level of the activities are varies by the topics, but these markets are consistently generate the strongest interest or the strongest registrations number, and as well as the attendance rate. We also get many speakers like the expert speakers from all these regions whenever we run the events or the webinars. And also we can see the growing participations from the Southeast Asia markets, such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand, depending on those subject matters. And because we can see more and more investment and also government support in those emerging countries. So for APAC is currently one of the strongest or the fastest growing regions for the life science or the biopharma industry, which is driven strongly by the investment in the R&D, manufacturing, clinical trials, digital transformations, and also AI adoptions. Yeah, so I hope that I answered your questions.
Okay, amazing. The next question we have is, how do you determine whether a webinar audience is relevant?
Yeah, so I think I can answer these questions also. Yeah, so this is also another very good question. How do we determine whether a webinar audience is relevant or not? So of course, we expecting a very high attendance or the registration numbers coming in for the webinar. But of course, we don't only look at the registrations number alone. We evaluate the audience based on the a few factors, such as whether they are coming from the target industry or the companies that we want to reach out or not. And the second factors that we can consider, which is whether their job titles or their level of seniority, such as whether they are the decision makers or they are the junior staff or not, just to listen to the webinars to get more knowledge. And the third one will be their engagements during the webinar, such as the questions they ask, and also the poll participations, and also the time spent attending. So these kind of the data they will evaluate whether the audience are really relevant to the webinar or not. But of course, we have more, such as whether the attendees match the sponsor target sponsor list or not. For example, we have clients that selling bioprocessing equipment to the industry. So what we will do is that we will reach out to those who are working on the bioprocessing industry. So we won't reach out to the someone who is working for drug and discovery. So we have to see whether the attendees that attending this the webinars are really relevant to the these subject matters or not. And of course, the last thing that we will see, which is the number of the qualified follow-up opportunities or the meetings generated after the webinar. So all these are the factors that to determine whether a webinar the audience is relevant or not. So for me, I would say another thing, which is a webinar with 50 highly relevant decision makers is far more valuable than a webinar which we have like 500 attendees who have no purchasing power at all and who have no purchasing like influence or interest to the solutions that is being presented. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Aloysius. Thank you so much, Aloysius. And I think we have got two more questions that I will take the liberty to answer. One of the questions is what makes executive roundtables effective? I think that's a fantastic question. As mentioned in my case study earlier, the reason why companies or solution providers choose to organize executive roundtables is because it brings together a small group of senior decision makers in a very trusted and interactive environment, right? And it also helps the discussion to be focused on a specific business challenge that the industry is facing, that the group is facing, rather than delivering a sales pitch. And we try to keep it at a very small group size, like 10 to 15 participants, because then this actively encourages open discussion and active participation by all the participants who are attending. And with the executive roundtable, not only provides a platform for attendees to share insights, share challenges, share experiences, it also helps each other learn from their other peers, how they are managing their organization, how are they running their, how are they meeting expectations, meeting their targets, meeting their challenges. So I think this provides a very holistic and robust environment for everyone to discuss. And also provides like peer-to-peer learning and an opportunity to have a meaningful dialogue. And then obviously after that, it also provides a very effective networking opportunities where, it's not always that you get to see maybe a group of CTOs sitting together in a room or a group of, head of manufacturing sitting together in a room, networking with each other. So I think when our solution providers or sponsors organize such effective roundtables, not only are you meeting all your target audience in one room, you're also having the ability to, get these people together to share what are the challenges they are facing. So it creates more like a trusted environment for everyone. And lastly, obviously, you get your leads from there. You get to build relationships with these decision makers in a very highly targeted and engaging setting. So I think that's the reason why a lot of our solution providers, a lot of clients choose to do roundtable, executive roundtables, and this is the benefits that they reap out of it. Okay, so and our last question will be how should solution providers prioritize target accounts? Okay, so when we do have clients coming to us, there are many of them that some of them they may already have a target audience that they are targeting that they want to reach out to and they need our help for. But there are many also that comes to us and they are unsure whom they want to target or who would be maybe they are venturing into a new market that they don't know whom would be the best people to sell to or who would buy their product. So when they come to us, we will sit down with them. We will try to come up with a target persona that they can actually, a list of clients that they can target or companies that they can target, job titles that they can target. We will go through with them region by region, maybe countries by countries after that, as well as companies that we think will be relevant for them. Or if they already have a list of companies, they can just give that to us. And we will then actively reach out to those companies as well as the job titles from these companies. So I think that's how solution providers, when they come to us to work with us, to prioritize their target accounts, or how we also help them to prioritize target accounts, if that answers your question. Right. So is there any more questions for us, for me and Aloysius? We are happy to address any more if there are. Please feel free to write it down in the Q&A portion, and we can actively answer them. All right, no problem. If there is no questions for us, thank you so much for taking out your time to join us today, for us to share more a little bit on how IMAPAC can help you lead generate or reach out to a new market and maybe help you to create brand awareness, create new business opportunities for you. We will be reaching out to you via email after this webinar, and we hope to see you in a more one-to-one setting after that, where then we can share in greater detail some different case studies that we have done and also understand your concerns, your challenges, and how IMAPAC can help you guys. So thank you very much for your time, everyone, and have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.